Hello, my name is Sean Ennis with Ennis Management. Thank you for joining me once again on the Creative Collective. And today I got a very special guest, musician and songwriter from Hartsville, South Carolina, Tiga Bonz.
Yeah, Tiga Bonz, y'all. What up? How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining me today. So you're from Hartsville, South Carolina?
Yeah.
And so explain to people who haven't been to Hartsville, what can they expect if they visit there?
Well, it's a small town. It's not a big town. It's kind of coupled between Columbia, the upper state, and close to the beach. So it's a small town. It's homely, you know. It's kind of like every other city in America, but it's small. It's not a big city. It's a small city. Same thing going on in every city, but at a smaller scale.
And where were you born?
I was actually born and raised in Hartsville, South Carolina. I traveled around and stayed other places. Lived in Atlanta a lot. I lived in a lot of cities, but for the most part, I was born and raised in South Carolina, Hartsville.
And what were some of your experiences growing up in Hartsville?
Growing up in Hartsville, I grew up in the project. So I grew up and I grew up surrounded around. I caught up in the crack epidemic, of the 90s. A lot of violence. So I witnessed a lot. Like I said, some of the things that probably happened in most major cities was going on probably on a small scale. I grew up around a lot of crime, a lot of violence. I kind of got pulled into the drugs myself, so drug dealing, and I got caught up in it. But I was also a part of the hip hop and rap and stuff too, though. I was exposed to a lot of it. I was exposed to music at an early age. I've been rapping since I was 10 years old. Been doing music since I was 10. So even though we had a lot of distraction, a lot of violence going on, was also a lot of music.
And did some of the things you experienced growing up in a harsh environment, does that find its way into your music?
Yeah, for the earlier parts, yeah, because I was living a lot of it. So, and like I said, it influenced me. I was living a lot of it, so it influenced my music. By me, being in the streets, I actually clubbed a lot. So, for the most part, I grew up going to a lot of clubs. So, most of my music still is going to have a lot of club to it, because it was a club scene heavy in Hartsville, South Carolina, and the surrounding area. So, I was influenced by the clubs. I clubbed a lot. So.
And what are some of the more popular clubs in Hartsville?
Hartsville and surrounding areas, Club The Vault, Club Main Event. We travel out a lot. We go to the beach for clubs, Club Kahuna's, El Noa, Columbia, Club Phoenix, something South Carolina. We travel out to go to other clubs too. 112 in Hartsville is bumping. Good times.
And do you come from a musical family?
Not per se. My dad was an artist. My cousins was rappers, so yeah, they did freestyles, and so they put me into it, and that's how I learned. I used to dance and freestyle with them. Through family, Akon kind of influenced me a lot, because I met him when I was 19 years old, and he married into my family, and he took a liking to me with my music. He told me to take it serious a lot. I didn't always take it serious because I was too much into the streets, but he mentored me a lot and kind of influenced me into keeping it with the music. So, I was influenced by him.
And what was that experience like, meeting such a big superstar at 19?
Yeah, because I didn't see it because we got close before he really took off, but it took a while for me to grasp his superstardom because I was so close with him. I slept in the house with him. We did a lot of things. We traveled a lot, but he always taught me a lot. And I say certain things that I saw made me believe and know that it was real, but the lure of the street still had me. But just being around him, I kind of knew it. Like I said, I seen a crowd grab him and tear his shirt off, and then when I was like, yeah, he's a star for real. When I seen security had to actually grab him back, and I was like, yeah, he really is a star. So it kind of dawned on me then.
And did you ever experience being in the recording studio with Akon?
Yeah, I used to. He was recording me probably. I got about like 3 songs he recorded for me. We never released them, but I started writing. He noticed that I could write a lot of genres of music. I can write country, I can write rap, I can write pop, I can write EDM. So he noticed that in me, and he noticed that, I think he utilized my talents, whereas I was going to be more in the streets and wasn't going to, he had to find a way to actually utilize the talent. So I started writing for him. And so he would take my music and he would probably figure out, could he use it or could another artist use it? So, and I know he ended up, I wrote the Gangsta Bop song for him. Some people probably familiar with that Gangsta Bop for the Convicted album, and I wrote Blown Away.
And you mentioned that you're able to write for different genres of music. What music or artists influenced you growing up?
Tupac, Biggie, Boosie, Scarface, a lot of the Southern trap. Nas. I was influenced by a lot, but I crossed over because the city I'm from had a lot of people coming from Florida and New York in it. Like I said, it was in the drug area, so New York people were bringing drugs and they were bringing their culture. So we had guys that brought in reggae music, dancehall. So I got attracted. I fell for the dancehall music, so I was heavily influenced by dancehall. There was times where I loved blues music. I don't know why, but I love blues. I love old time. I love soulful music. So I sung on the choir, and I sung in elementary and high school. I sung in glee club and band. So I had a lot of different kind of influences.
And being that you had some sort of classical music training, singing in the choir and singing in glee club, how do you feel that has helped you as in your music career?
Yeah, it did. It helped me a lot. It took a kind of a fear off of me to try something. I'm more willing to try something different. Whereas somebody said, well, I might not be able to do that, or because I'm too hard, I can't try it. But by singing at one point in time, it helps me. It gave me a sing-song melody. So like when Akon was doing this sing-song melody, I was already doing it because too many different styles. Like I said, I chanted with reggae. We used to throw reggae parties in Atlanta, Georgia, with Jamaicans, and I used to get on the mic, me being American, and I used to get on the mic and chant with the Jamaicans. So I tried everything. It opened me up to trying different things.
And you being from South Carolina, what made you come down to Atlanta?
I went to DeVry University as an electronics engineering student. And that put me into a lot of cultures. For the first time, Hartsville don't have different cultures of people. So I met people from different walks of life. Being exposed to that kind of changed my perspective.
And can you remember an earliest memory involving music?
My first talent show at the age of 10, I had a guy that he was doing the beats for me and with his hands and with his mouth. I was 10 years old, I was in the 5th grade, and he was with me, and I had it was a trio of us, but the 6th graders pulled my other guy in, and the day of the talent show, he was like, he's not going to be in it, he's going to be with the 6th graders. So when they went before us, I started hearing all the rhymes that I was saying, that I was spit. I was hearing the 6th graders saying them, and I was like, I panicked, because I was like, gosh, they took all my rhymes, and we looking like we hit. But by me being with a bunch of older guys that freestyle, I got on the stage and I just started coming up with freestyles. I started saying stuff that, but I was fashioning mine to what I was hearing the older guys say. So, and that's my time, and I won the contest. I won it for the whole school. It wasn't like a 5th grade, 6th grade. You had to win for the whole school. So I won the contest at age 10, talent show, and they just carried me off the stage. I was a little teeny little thing, and they just carried me off stage like he's a jolly good fella, like. So that's one of my fondest memories. I still joke with the guy that I told him I made him a star at 10. We both were 10 years old.
And what were you feeling at 10 years old when you were on stage in front of your school performing?
That was, like I said, I'll never forget them taking me off that stage. Like, Like he's like the older, and the people that was picking me off the stage were like 7th graders and 6th graders. I was a 5th grader, so it was the older people, like probably 8th graders. I remember. I knew them in the hood, but they came to that talent show, and for them to be like it was dope. Though. It was a good feeling. I kind of fell back for a while, and I won a few more talent shows, and I did more stuff in music. But that time they did it, like it made me, that was serious. I'll never forget that out of all the shows I ever did.
And can you talk about how you settled on your artist name?
My artist name Tiga Bonz. Like you said, I did music. We used to do toast, and Jamaicans gave me that name. Some Jamaicans actually gave me that name. I used to do toasting with Jamaicans, and they used to be like, you know what, we're gonna call you Tiger, and they took the Tiger, and then some of them they morphed it into Tiga Bonz, which is sort of like it's a Jamaican tonic or something like that. So it has a thing to it, and that kind of stuck with me. So actually, my Jamaican homies gave me that name.
And how old were you when you first got into a recording studio?
Got into my first recording studio at age of... I was not recording, but when I was in college, I was always in the studio. During that time, I was messing with records. I was just playing around with music, but I wasn't serious for recording. I just liked freestyle and toast. I would be 20 years old, 20 or 21 years old, when the other guys that I knew was like, you need to get in the studio, you need to write, I was writing around, but like, you need to get into the studio. And so that would be the time I would actually get into my first time getting into the studio. I remember my rhymes and all. I remember my first song. Getting into the studio the first time, yeah, that was dope too, though. I fell in love with the studio, so yeah.
How would you best describe your music?
My music is, because my music has a little bit of everything in it. So you're not just gonna say it's trap. You're not gonna say, I do different. I don't know if you can put your hand on it, but it's sing-song melody. It's catchy. It's melodic. You can hear Akon influences in my music, because me, him, T-Pain, all of us was around running that time. So for the last 8 years, 10 years, the music. So you can hear that. You can hear my influence. You can hear Jamaican influences in my music. You can hear those things in my music. All the influences that I have, it's in there though.
And now I want to talk about your single, She Bad. Who did the production on that track?
He's the producer I've been working with for the last 3 years. I found Gummy Beats and I found Golden Grams, and they have my sound. Well, he just had, I work with mainly with Gummy Beats, but Golden Grams records for me. And I was at work working a job, and I was on Facebook, and he said, who can do something with this beat? And I listened to it. And while I was at work, I just came up with a song, She Bad. It has I'm told it has that melodic. It's like a strip club meets laid back club. So it's stripper type. It's club type. It's just bigging up the female out there that feels good about herself. She don't have to per se be a stripper, but she's getting her own money. She's doing her own thing. It's like I'm bigging the girl up. She's bad, not just only on the looks level, but everything she does. With handling her business, with having money, doing good for herself. So.
And how has the fan response been to this single?
I haven't released it. We're going to be released, but everybody's been telling me to release it. So I got a large. They pushed me to, because it's hard for me to release music. I don't release music like that, but this one they was like, release this song. It's everybody says to release it, like. That you should release this music. Why can't I get it? And I didn't have a place for them to get it because it wasn't on the platform. And it was like, how can I get it? So it's pushed like.
And you mentioned 2 producers that you enjoy working with. What is it about the music that they create that really makes you feel like you want to record to their beats?
Yeah, Gummy Beats. Even though I think his sound, because he does a lot of music for like Love and Hip Hop, he does a lot of the background music and beats, he does a lot of that, but he has a sound that if I hear it, I can, even if I got a song that I wrote to this music, I can always push it to his music. So he has like, I don't know, but he has that sound that I can do a lot of my music to his song, to his production. Gummy Beats is, I can big him up. Gummy Beats, he has my sound. Golden Grams, he has that trap part of me. So if I want to do something trappy, clubby, because I don't only do trap and club music, but if I do a lot of trap and club, Golden Grams has that down pat, you know. But so.
Could you briefly describe your music making process?
I go off of. I may have a thought about something. It could be a relationship. I may go through something in a relationship. And you can hear relationships and you can hear club scenes and things I've been through in some of my music. When I'm writing on that level, I'll hear a beat and it'll give me a thought, or I'll just write a song. I'll come up with a hook. I play piano and I play guitar, so some of the songs I play the guitar and I'll come up with the hook through the guitar melodies, the riffs while I'm playing the guitar. I hear the hook in my head, like the She Bad song. Yeah, She Bad, I was at work and I formulated that song over the course of a month. I just didn't write that whole song. I had the hook and I was formulating the verses, putting it together. So She Bad was never written on paper. It all came together inside my head. A lot of my songs, it's not written on paper. It's all in my head. So when I go in the booth, I don't take the paper in there because it's already put together.
What's a song that you really have fun performing?
Yeah, that's a whole nother, performance is where I turn on that. So you might listen to my music, but for seeing me perform it is kind of like another thing.
And what's that experience like when you're performing in front of an audience?
It turns me on. That's what I'm turned on to. The more people I see, the more turned on I am. I get turned on when I see people. When I see people and I make eye contact with somebody and that energy is just, it turns me on. It turns me up and it turns me on. I'd rather perform than be in the studio.
What are the main themes or topics in your music?
Different. I just did a song on gun violence. I do gun violence. I do relationship music. I do something that my topics range from I like to go with what I've been through. So if I did a lot of clubbing, my mindset be on the club, or I do music for the clubs because a lot of people club down here in the South Carolina scene. So I do music for the clubs. I do relationship type things. I do something that's going on, the events that's going on now. So I will touch on some of the events. So I do something like, stop the gun violence or the streets don't love nobody. So there's a song I wrote called The Streets Don't Love Nobody because I see a lot of people go through things in the streets and little we know that, we got to start giving our life to the streets because the streets really don't love us. It took a lot from me. So, just speaking on from what I've seen. So.
And how has your music evolved? My style has evolved. I've taken more chances with trying a different style. So I could write a song and rap it this way, but then my style has evolved a little more over the years. It's more melodic. I didn't always do melodic, but it's more melodic. And it's not like I'm riding the wave of it because I always did sing and do melodic, but I'm doing it more now. I think a couple years ago, maybe 10, you couldn't do it because it was more hard in South Carolina. You can't even do that. But I'm glad other rappers came with the Drakes and them came and make it more. You can do it. It's not, you can get up. But it's evolved to more melodic. I'll take chances. I'll take a risk. I'll do something. I'll do an EDM song.
whereas I wouldn't do an EDM.
If you could collaborate with any artist, who would it be and why?
That's like mainstream, or a mainstream artist that I would love to collaborate with. He's not a hip hop artist. I would love to collaborate with Buju Banton, the Jamaican singer. Most of my collabs probably come from Jamaican singers, probably. To be honest, I don't know. Tupac dead, so I couldn't do that with Tupac. Maybe Boosie, probably a little Boosie.
Can you think of a challenge that you faced in your music career, and how have you been able to overcome that challenge?
The challenge I face in music is thinking that things wasn't going fast enough, or sometimes your hopes be that it's going to happen overnight, and you get depressed when things not happen. It's not going as well, and so. And I watched Akon. I watched it take Akon 8 years to do it, and I watched a few other artists that I was with it took some years. And it didn't happen overnight for them. But sometimes you get discouraged. I get discouraged and say, well, I'm putting all this in, and I could be doing other stuff. And so the challenge is actually believing in myself and kind of overcoming that, getting past that, and being patient and trusting in the process.
What advice would you give for an aspiring musician or a musician just starting out with their music career?
My main advice would be to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, whether it be money and your time. If you got 24 hours in a day, if you work a job and you're working 8 hours, invest something into your craft. Write your music. Write some music. Just focus on your craft. Invest your time, invest your money into what you do. If you love to do it, invest in yourself. I believe if you want other people to invest in you, you have to invest in yourself. No one probably going to invest in you if you don't invest in yourself. So invest. Like I said, if you don't have the money per se, invest your time into expanding your craft, getting better at your craft.
Can you share your social media links?
Yeah, everything is Tiga Bonz. So TIGABONZ is everything. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. It's always been Tiga Bonz. TIGABONZ. You type that in, you're gonna get everything. You can Google it and everything's coming up. You can type it in on Facebook, Tiga Bonz. It's gonna come up. Instagram. I just keep it Tiga Bonz. Everything.
Is there anyone you'd like to acknowledge for offering financial or emotional support to you in your music career?
Yeah, the most, like I said, Akon has done the most. He's done the most. I can't deny the fact. Sometimes I wish he could have done more, but being a busy man, he could. And I think a lot of the times that he didn't do a lot because he didn't feel that I was serious enough about my own career. So I held myself back a lot in my career. He could have done more, but me being serious. But he did a lot. He mentored me a lot. He's to a point where he's too busy, but I learned a lot. A few more people, but.
What is the best way for fans, producers, and other artists to get in contact with you?
Yeah, either you can reach me through my number. Reach me through any social media. You on Instagram, and I get reached by a lot. Booking Tiga Bonz is my actually booking number, but booking TigaBonz@gmail.com. But Instagram Tiga Bonz, just hit me up and just DM me, or my number 470-885-4509. You can give me a call. I'm approachable. I love to talk, so just you can reach out to me through any social media platform, through email.
And as we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Just I got this, like I said, Spotify, iTunes, She Bad dropping 420. 420. She Bad is dropping. Go check it out. You won't be disappointed. Got a lot more music coming for you. That's just the first of it. You're gonna get a chance to get the unique experience. You won't be disappointed though. 420, Catch That She Bad single is dropping all platforms. Thank you for the interview and giving me a chance to actually speak to people. Appreciate that a lot.
You're certainly welcome. Well, I'd like to give a big thank you to my guest today, Tiga Bonz. As always, write your comment below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And for all of your promotion, marketing, and music career consulting needs, email ennisproductions@gmail.com.